Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Every Tuesday in September, we're taking a look at the Jewish experience on film, meaning how Jews have been portrayed in movies through the years. And with me to give his perspective is the man who helped program the series, Dr. Eric Goldman, author of the book, The American Jewish Story Through Cinema. Thanks for being here, Eric.
Thank you, Robert.
Well, for the next several hours, we're going to take a look at films which deal in some way with the Holocaust. We're going to begin with a movie from 1946, directed by Orson Welles, and starring Orson Welles as a man with a connection to that horrible period, but now living quietly in Connecticut. From 1946, it's the movie The Stranger. Now, I don't recall any other movies before this that had to do with Nazis hiding out in America. Were there others, and I'm just not thinking of them?
Totally avoided, and it was almost on the list of topics you do not deal with.
Right.
But Welles being Welles, and being as politically active as he was, this was one of the most active periods politically.
Right.
And he decides to take on the subject of the war criminal who leaves Germany and finds a safe haven somewhere. In terms of the subject matter, what you have is Welles calling attention to the fact that Nazis are able to leave Germany after the war. There was all of the denazification that was going on in Germany, but at a certain point in time, the American government realized that many of these ex-Nazis would be very useful, A, to fight communism,
right,
and B, they could offer different kinds of things for America. So in many cases, and we know much more now, America turned a blind eye.
right.
And so Welles says, hey, wait a minute. These are bad guys.
Right.
We need to pursue them. We need to find justice for them, and they're war criminals.
Right. And right around this time, there were a lot of movies being made about where the Nazis were going, but usually with South America, and movies like Notorious or Gilda is about Nazis in South America and everything. But this was one of the few that really had Nazis in America.
Yeah, and you know, Welles wants us to be a little fearful. There's the period during the war when there was always that fear that maybe some Germans might be landing on American shores.
Right.
And now it's post-war, and some Germans may be landing on American shores.
Hiding out here.
Hiding out here and finding, you know, safe haven here.
But it's a wonderfully done movie, I think. Really wonderfully directed, great suspense to it. So even if you're not taking the political implications of the movie, it's still a good old thriller to watch.
It's one of Welles' best, and it's just not, it's the most, it's just not appreciated.
Right.
Which is such a pity, because it is such a good film.
Right. We also have to say it has Edward G. Robinson in it, which isn't actually chopped liver either, or Loretta Young is in it as well, and she's wonderful in it.
Yeah.
So you got some real first-class talents here.
It's a great story. It really captures the problem. And in later years, of course, when we begin to see all of these Nazi hunters go around the world looking for Nazis, it just, looking at it 10 years later, 20 years later, or even today, it's that much more powerful.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look. Here it is, a movie nominated for an Academy Award for its original story. A movie from 1946, as we said, starring Edward G. Robinson, Loretta Young, and Orson Welles. The Stranger.